let's address sleep. How to get perfect sleep. Okay? So, there are what's called sleep cycles, right? A sleep cycle is 90 minutes. And for example, if you sleep 6 hours, you get 4 cycles, right? If you sleep 7.5 hours, then you get 5 cycles. If you sleep 9 hours, you get 6 cycles. If you sleep 4 hours and a half, you get 3 cycles. If you sleep 3 hours, you get 2 cycles. Okay? Okay. Now, here's what's interesting. If this is a sleep cycle, that's 90 minutes. The first 30 minutes is something that doesn't count towards your, like, okay, so here we have like regeneration of organs and tissues and whatever, and also mental energy. Okay, this period in the sleep cycle affects, like, gets you into this state. Okay, so what you have during the night, if you think about it, can I copy this? Anyway, what you have is this. So you have a sleeping cycle, and then you have another sleeping cycle, and then you have another sleeping cycle. Okay, so this is your sleep during the night. Okay, so each 30 minutes puts you into that good state. Okay, so we can kind of symbolize that you're kind of awake here, and here you're in deep sleep. You're kind of awake, you're in deep sleep. Okay, now it's another like 2 stages here, but that's not important. Okay, so here I put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cycles, right? 5 cycles, that's 7.5 hours, right? This is this is the best for everybody. Now, if you look at the sleep cycles, this particular region here, you would think it's the same as this one, right? But actually, when you go more into the sleep cycles, so this is the first one, second one, third one, fourth one, fifth one, the more significant this 60 minutes here is, right? So this is the most significant. And then we have this one, then we have this one in terms of significance, then we have this one in terms of significance, and then we have this one in terms of significance. Okay, so if you wake up in the morning and you don't allow for all of this particular sleep cycle to finish, so let's say you wake up here. By the way, when you are interrupting the 60 minutes, right, so this is 60 minutes and this is 30 minutes, right, because this is 90 minutes. sleep cycle, the last one that you have. So when you are interrupting it somewhere here or somewhere here or somewhere here, you are disrupting all of the sleep cycle, you see. So that's why if you wake up with the alarm and you know you're kind of like in deep sleep, you're dreaming, whatever, and let's say you wake up here, then you're messing up the last sleep cycle, which is the most significant. So you have basically, with this 10 minutes waking up before the sleep cycle finished, you know, you are messing up, I don't know, 40% of the night just because of those 10 minutes here. Okay? So you have to allow, especially the last sleeping cycle, to finish. It's very important. Okay, so that's the first idea. Very important to not wake up in the 60 minutes. Okay, you can wake up in this period of 30 minutes, right? Because after the 60 minutes you will have this period, right? So here is where you want to wake up. Okay, now how do you ensure that you wake up here and you don't wake up here? Well, you can do two things, right? Two options. You can either have an app that tracks your breathing patterns, and it will detect when you're breathing heavily, which will indicate that you're in the 30 minutes, and will sound the alarm. So you don't put the alarm at a specific time, you put the alarm at a specific interval, and then the app will see when you are breathing more rapidly, such that it knows you finished the sleeping cycle, so that it wakes you up. Okay, that's one option. The other option, the one that I like to do, is to basically schedule all my sleeping cycle. Okay, and I'm gonna explain to you why scheduling is important because of some other reason. Okay. So let's say that this is your sleep. All of this is your sleep. Okay. Now let's say that this is the day. Actually, let's not say this is the day. Let's say that this is 0 0 0 0 0 0, right? So those are a couple of days. Okay, now let's say that this is time. Okay, now let's say that you put your sleep, you fall asleep at, let's say, 10 p.m., right? So you put your sleep here, and then let's say you put your sleep again here at 10 p.m., right? And let's say you wake up at 8 a.m., just as an example. Your body, after, like, I don't know, maybe 4 nights, approximately like this, will start producing the what's it called, the anyway, that rhythm with cortisol and melatonin, right? So you know that in the morning you kind of have like cortisol the highest, and then it kind of like decreases in a logarithmic fashion, and then towards the night you kind of like secrete melatonin, right? Okay, and then it kind of like decreases, and then cortisol comes in, and yeah, right? So this is like your circadian rhythm. This particular thing has like a time, right? So this is like time 1 and this is like time 2, like here, like when those things get produced, right? So this is like a time based thing that happens, right? So when you fall asleep in a particular way, then your body learns how to produce cortisol here and melatonin here so that you fall asleep, right? So it becomes like this as you follow a particular pattern of sleep, right? Let's say 4 nights, you go to sleep at 10, right? Now if you, let's say, went to sleep a particular way and then tonight you go to sleep at 8 p.m., right? Because you say, oh, I have nothing to do and let's grab more sleep, right? Well, you've taught your body to produce melatonin here at 10, right? So you have very little melatonin, right? Sometimes you can fall asleep, but most of the times when you go to sleep before your sleeping time, you can't fall asleep, right? Because of this. Now, let's say that you go to sleep at midnight, right? You go to sleep at midnight, right? So what happened? You had a lot of melatonin. You felt really, really tired here, and you kind of pushed yourself, right? You pushed yourself to stay awake another 2 hours. So you will have a harder time falling asleep here than here, and also there's a bunch of other problems. Because you are deviating from the schedule of the sleeping cycles, right? So if okay, let's say here it was 10 p.m., okay, and you slept like this till 8 a.m. Here, if you go to sleep at midnight at 00, you will, and if you wake up at 8 a.m., what's gonna happen is that if you imagine all of this, you will basically miss out on the first sleeping cycle, right? Because you go to sleep at midnight instead of 10 p.m., right? So you miss out 2 hours. So what's 2 hours? 2 hours is 120 minutes, right? So you miss out the first 90 minutes and then you miss out the next 30 minutes. So what will happen is you will force yourself to fall asleep within the period when you are supposed to be into the deep sleep of the second cycle. You see, now it will take you some time to fall asleep, so you will mess up your second cycle as well as you skipped your first cycle, you see. Now when you wake up at the same time, this is what happens. But something worse can happen if you wake up at different times and go to sleep at the same time, okay? Going to sleep at the same time and waking up differently is worse than going to sleep differently and waking up at the same time. Because, as I told you, when you wake up at different times, you are messing up the last cycle, which is the most important. Okay? So, basically, when you innocently think that, okay, tonight I'm going to sleep between 10 p.m. and 8 a.m. and I don't know, because it's the weekend, I'm going to sleep at 00 and waking up at 10 a.m., right? Okay, so what happens here is that you are ensuring that you're grabbing the last sleeping cycle, right? So this one here is this one here. That's why you feel good. You don't feel as good as if you were following a strict routine schedule because you messed up here, the first sleeping cycle. But, and you can relate to this, what happens is if you sleep in the weekend, like from 00 to 10 a.m. to 10 a.m., yeah, and then on Monday you wake up at 8 a.m., this is the worst, right? This is the worst because now your body kind of like pushed the last sleeping cycle like further in time, and then when you wake up on Monday you won't complete the last cycle because it has been pushed forward in time. Okay, so basically this is the theory of sleeping cycles. It's very important because hormones get produced a particular way based on the pattern, and I told you how important it is to not mess up those particular periods where you get regeneration and mental energy, right? Very important understanding. So what's the solution? Okay, the solution is, well, based on principles, right? So routine is the key. Okay, now you should aim up for 7.5 hours. Okay, now since you don't fall asleep instantly, you need to have like a cool down period, right? Now this could be 30 minutes, or it could be 40 minutes, or it could be even 1 hour. Okay, so what you do is every single day you have like the cool down routine, and then you have your planned cycles. Okay, so this is like, okay, so basically we can say that this is time 1, this is time 2, and this is time 3. Every single day it should be the same, right? So for example, me, I wake up at 9 a.m. and like I like to get 9 hours, right? So okay, so what does that mean? That means that my time 2 is midnight. Okay, so what I do is I go into bed at 11 and 20 minutes, right? Because this will give me 40 minutes of chilling in bed, like with YouTube, basically with YouTube, yeah? So 40 minutes, or a book, right? Like cool down routine, okay? And then from the cool down routine I have 9 hours. Every single day it has to be the same times, time 1, time 2, time 3, right? What you could do is, if you wake up at 7 a.m. and let's say you want to sleep 7.5 hours, then time 2 would be this one minus 7.5 hours, which would be 11:30, okay? Oh, I forgot something important. Yeah. Yeah, I forgot something important. Basically we have to put here like a period that you fall asleep, okay? So this is time 3 and this is time 4. Okay, so depending on how much time it takes you to fall asleep, right? So if you take I don't know, 30 minutes to fall asleep, let's say, for example. You put here 30 minutes, okay? So that means that if you wake up at 9, then and if you want 9 hours of sleep, then this becomes midnight, this becomes 11:30, okay? And now this becomes 10:50, okay, if I want 50 minutes of cooldown. Okay, now if you want 7.5 hours and you wake up at 7, then we put here 7 your waking up time, then this becomes 11:30. Okay, if it takes you half an hour to fall asleep, you put here 11, and then if your cooldown routine is you want it to be 40 minutes, you put here 10:20 p.m. Okay, cool. So what you want to do is you want to put an alarm here, such that on the phone, right, such that it tells you when you should kind of prepare to go into bed, to change into pajamas, to wash your teeth, right? So you should have like an alarm here and an alarm here. Okay, now you stick to this for like a week, and then it becomes very easy and you're gonna fall asleep very, very easily. Okay, now this is like the main thing, right? But there are some reasons why this doesn't work, right? So now I'm gonna address the details. So in the cooldown routine, you need lights to be off, okay, and your screen luminosity to be like very dim, okay? And also you want if you have like Windows, you install the app called Flux. If you have MacBook, you need night mode, right? Both on your phone and on your laptop or whatever, right? Tablet. So this is for Windows, this is for Mac. Okay, so basically this is addressing the light, okay? Now another principle is the food, right? If you eat food, you are producing certain hormones and other substances that digest the food and keep you alert, right? Even your high glycemic index will keep you awake because the body has to spend resources and keep you alert such that it digests the food, okay? So any food or any drink with sugar or anything should be avoided at least 2 hours before sleep, right? Okay, so this is very important as well. So no food, no light. Okay, awesome. And the last thing I would say is if you want some supplements, okay, there are two. There's magnesium, 500 milligrams, I think, and there is chamomile tea, right? Chamomile tea. Okay, so put 4 bags, get like 500 milligrams of magnesium, and this is the most powerful thing ever in terms of supplements for falling asleep, right? This is even better than melatonin or valerian, which has side effects, right? Valerian can mess up the muscles, right? So you use those those things if you want to. They help a lot, and you manage the light and you manage the digestion, and you do this. So okay, the other important thing is that when you watch YouTube or whatever, you watch like things that make you chill, okay, make you chilled, or they are fun, okay. You don't think or research, right? Don't do that, right? You have to cool down basically. So we have addressed the light, the food, the supplements, and the mental element. We have scheduled this, and when you wake up, it's very important to do something specific, to get sunlight into the eyes, okay, for like a couple of minutes, because the sunlight that you get into the eyes will basically signal your body that you woke up. It's not enough to just wake up. Your body understands that you woke up based on a particular threshold of photons in your eye. So in order to adjust all of this sleeping schedule, you need that particular light in your eye, right? Okay, so pretty much this will, yep, this will basically get you to like almost 90% or 100, or between 90% and 100% of what's possible in terms of all the theory that we have about sleep at the moment.